Hello parents, my name is Amy Reed and I am your child's Honors Algebra 2 teacher this year. I want to tell you I've been getting to know my students over the past 2 weeks and I am really impressed with their work ethic. They have really been doing a good job. We've been learning a lot of new information, and even though it's been challenging at times, they're really putting in the work and really showing me that they're willing to work hard, and I'm really impressed with that. I want to tell you that this video, I'm going to go through the PowerPoint that has a lot of information that you will want to know for Honors Algebra 2 this year. And I am really looking forward to meeting all of you at Back to School Night on Monday night. Okay, so in this PowerPoint, I'm going to go through and try to tell you some basic information that you would want to know or need to know in order for your child to have success in this class. First of all, I want to tell you that in this class we are in groups, I always seat us in groups so that we can work together. A lot of information we learn in Algebra 2 can be really challenging, and I feel like the more people you have on your side, the better it is. So we started out the year with some team building. We have a marshmallow challenge that we do, and so the students are placed randomly in groups, and then once they are in their groups, they spend a little bit of time getting to know their group partners by playing or doing this marshmallow challenge. So that's what we have did on our first day of school. Then we went into the next couple of days and we started learning about functions. And I did a new activity I haven't done before, and it was walking out a graph using these motion detectors. And so that's what these pictures are of. And the students really did a great job of it, and they did such a good job that we ended up going a couple of steps further than I was really planning on going, but it really has been a great start to our year. Another tool that I like to use is called Desmos.com. Desmos.com is a graphing calculator. There's another site that is from Desmos, which is called student.desmos.com, and that's a site where I can build activities, or I can use activities that they have and use them in class to reinforce some concepts. And so they went to Desmos.com and learned some information, but then they went and tried some activities on student.desmos.com. And some of the pictures here can show you how well the students are working together. And another reason I like to use some of this technology is it allows them some immediate feedback. So you can see on the screen they get success, and really it is really satisfying to get that success message on there because you can see that what you're doing, you can see that you're doing it right. And so that is just another way that I can make sure that the students are finding success and getting reinforcement when they need it. Let me tell you a little bit about our curriculum. When we do work in this class, classwork and homework and notes in addition are in this category I call formative. And so that is things that we are just learning about. And most of that on the homework and classwork, most of that is on completion. And I post answers online, and the reason I do that is so that they can check their answers. And most of the students do use that responsibly, and I've had a lot of good success with that in the past. The second bullet point here is I do what's called the flipped classroom, and that is that we do video notes at home and then we work on the problems in class. And I've had a lot of success with this. Last year, I started it for me. A lot of teachers have been doing it. We've had teachers in the building that have been doing it for a couple of years, and teachers nationally have been doing it and finding success. And so I have found last year when I did this that the test grades went up on an average of 5% each unit, which was really great increase, I felt. Tests in this class are worth 80%, and I do allow retakes, one per quarter. And we have a whole system that we kind of go through for our retakes, but I found success with this, and I think it's going to work out well for us this year. The online books, we have textbooks which are online, and we really only use those as a resource. We also use a lot of other resources, such as some of those I showed you a minute ago. On Desmos.com is a good graphing calculator resource. DeltaMath.com is another resource that I use for homework. I've developed some worksheets of my own. We've developed some worksheets across the district, so we really have a variety of sources. Honors Algebra 2 is a rigorous course. Your children will need to study for this course. This might, for some of them, be the first time this has really been a challenge, and it will be a challenge, but a lot of them, I think, will find it as a welcome challenge. Here are some of the things that we are covering in this year, and I will tell you that the most difficult units are probably the last unit in semester 1, that's polynomials, and the first unit in semester 2, that is rationals. And I just bring that up because I feel like parents and students both need to understand that December and January can really be a challenging time in this class. However, once you get through those 2 units, it's really not as bad. And I just feel like a lot of kids get really frustrated during December and January, and a lot of parents too. They think, what is going on? Why is this so difficult? But that is those 2 units, polynomials and rationals, are new to them. They have a lot of new information, and really it's quite difficult information, but we will get through it. And we have the test retakes for most of those, so that's another bonus. So those, I just want to let you know that's what's going on. I will say with polynomials, we can't always retake that test because it is right up next to the final exam. So that's one sometimes that we just can't, because of timing, we can't do a retake, which just tells you to really make sure that you're really solid in the first part of the semester so that when you come into that last test, it doesn't totally bring your grade down. Some things that we use in this class, you do need to have a graphing calculator for this class, and you can check one out from the library, and that is a checkout for the year. And so you don't have to spend the money. A graphing calculator would cost you about $80 to $120 depending on what kind of model you buy, but that is a requirement for this class. Recommended would be a scientific calculator, really any model, because there are a variety of times that maybe they can't use a graphing calculator for whatever reason, and so if they have a scientific calculator as a backup, that's a good one to have. I mentioned some of these things already, but on the MacBooks, I use Google Classroom quite a bit, and I can help you get onto Google Classroom as well. Desmos.com is an online graphing application that we use quite a bit. Deltamath.com, again, is that online homework that we do quite a bit. Instructional videos and links. And so a lot of the videos that I provide for the students are my own videos, and that they get through a variety of ways. One of them is called Edpuzzle. One of them is just to go straight to YouTube. But anyway, I have a variety of things that we do in class that involve the internet. And so if you're home, for whatever reason, you don't have the internet, you don't have access to the internet, your internet's down, what have you, just make sure you let me know that so that we can come up with alternate ways for you to get the material and your child to get the material that they need. And then the last source would be Skyward. As far as grades go, I post grades about once every 2 weeks or so. I don't do it every day, but for instance, I collected a homework calendar the other day, and I can talk about that when I see you on Monday night, but I collected the homework calendar the other day so that I can record something in the gradebook so you can get an idea of where they are. But again, I don't do that every day. It's more like every week or two that I enter grades. Here's a little bit of information about me. If you want to pause the video here and read up on this, you can. It just is basically helping you get an idea of who I am and where I've come from. Most of my time has been spent here locally. And then, because I'm a math teacher, I came up with a list of numbers that tell you a little bit about myself. This is a picture of me and my husband and my son. We went on a huge road trip this year, and this is on one side of the Badlands, and it's a side of the Badlands that we had not been to before. So it was really an amazing vista. All the drive that we were taking on that, it was beautiful. But this tells you a little bit more about me and just information about myself that you are welcome to read through. And if you want to talk about it on Monday when we come, we can talk about that as well. Finally, my contact information. Anytime that you want to contact me, please do. If you feel like we need to have a conference, feel free to reach out and we can definitely conference. If there is something going on, an issue, please contact me and let me know. I don't know about you. I have a high school son as well, and sometimes he'll come home with these stories, and I'm like, really? is that really what your teacher said? So I know that sometimes you hear things. Please check with me if you feel like something's just kind of out of whack, and I would be happy to meet with you about that. Here is my email address and my telephone number. I will tell you, email is just easier for me because my phone doesn't ring in my class. However, if you email me, I'll get that anytime pretty much throughout the day, and I have time to respond. I'm also on Twitter. My Twitter handle, I guess you call it, is at Amy Reed, and I'm doing this thing called Teach 180. It's just a hashtag where I'm going to try to tweet every day. And for me, that is really a stretch because typically I don't tweet every day. But on that tweet, I will try to mention something that we're doing in class or something that happened in class or just something about class. So if you want to kind of keep up on what your child is doing in class, you can follow me on Twitter and see me there. My room is room 163, which once again, if you come on Monday, you'll find me in 163, and that's my room throughout the day. So it's actually a physics classroom, and when you come, you'll see that it is a physics classroom, but the math kids are making good use of the room as well. So that is the end of my introductory PowerPoint, and what this allows us is to get some of the details out of the way, so when you all come on Monday, we can have a little bit more in-depth conversation about some of the topics that might not have been addressed here, some of the questions that you have, and additional things that I might want to just make sure we are all on the same page on. So I look forward to seeing you on Monday night.